Hey guys, welcome to episode 7. If you're a video game lover, you're in for a treat this week. I'm going to take you for a trip down memory lane, learn some things, have some fun. Let's get into it. So hopefully you all had fun at Supernova over the weekend. I know we did. Our special will be on it next week, in fact, so have a look at that. In the meantime, with the school holidays coming on pretty quick, I popped over the Nostalgia Box to see what they had going on. Hey guys, we're here with Michael at the Nostalgia Box today. What is Nostalgia Box?
Well,
tell me.
Good question. Well, you're here right now, and the Nostalgia Box is a video game museum located here in Northbridge in Perth. So we have a collection of over 100 consoles ranging from 1972 all the way through to modern day that sort of collects video game history. So you get to come through, have a look at all the old consoles, learn about the history of video games, and then of course we've got the fun area over there, which is our arcade. You get to actually come in and have a go playing a whole bunch of the old consoles and just really have a good fun time.
How did this place come about? How did this Nostalgia Box happen?
Yeah, that's the question we always get asked. So, well, it's the dream of sort of one person, which was Jessie. She's the owner and founder of the Nostalgia Box. The chief, as we call her sometimes. So yeah, she created this whole place. So it was her vision to sort of, she used to play a lot of video games, some of her older games with some of her friends. And she sort of thought, well, it'd be really cool if we could go somewhere, go out, have some fun and play some of these games. There's nowhere really to do that. So obviously that was like, oh, maybe I should make somewhere where we can do that. And then she started sort of collecting some of the things and trying to come up with all the plan, the business plan, what she was going to do. And as she started collecting some of the older games, she sort of realized how much history there really was to the video game industry. It's only 40 years old, so it's quite young, but there is a lot of history and a lot's happened.
Yeah.
So that's how it sort of came about. And then she sort of really started going down the rabbit hole and found out all this sort of really interesting stuff about how video games first started. And sort of from there, it just grew and grew and grew. And then finally, in December 2015, she managed to open up and she's got this huge collection of over 100 consoles here at the Nostalgia Box. So.
Wow. And they're the ones you're going to display. You did say that you've got more in storage as well that you just can't show.
Well, like, that's it. Like, I mean, we've got Nintendo Power Gloves. We've got 2 of them out back. We can't fit them out in the store at the moment. So yeah, we've got to try and make some more space sometime soon. But yeah, her collection it's a personal collection of hers and she just puts it out on display and it's amazing.
Look, do you want to tell us about anything like that we've got nearby here?
Yeah, I mean, some of the most interesting thing, one of the biggest things that people ask when they come in is, like, how much does all of this cost? Like,
yeah,
you know, this must be worth a lot. And like, the one question obviously is, what's worth the most money?
Yeah.
And it's like, so we actually standing, funnily enough, right in front of it. So the Commodore Amiga CD32 is the most expensive console we have in the museum. Not expensive because it's good. Expensive because it was pretty terrible. So it didn't sell very well at all. So quite rare. Also only really sold in Europe, mainly. So England was where it was the most popular. So the one we actually got is from the UK. And yeah, so it didn't really sell very well. Commodore discontinued it after only 1 year.
Right.
So if you don't sell very well, there's not many of them, makes it rare, makes it expensive. So this one costs, to get into the store and ship over from UK, along with some games and still in the original box up the top here, just about $2,000 just for the one console. So pretty expensive. So yeah, there's a lot of these sort of really old consoles that just were underloved and just a lot of people just threw away. And that's sort of like a part of what we're trying to do is sort of collect that history. Yeah. I mean, it is quite young, but collecting it is something that really sort of we wanted to do and make sure that people don't forget a lot of the old history and how video games really came to be. There are so many different consoles here that I honestly didn't even know existed. Yeah, we've got some really good, like, iconic ones. Of course, we've got the first ever console, the Magnavox Odyssey.
Well, do you want to head over there and have a look?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take over.
Let's go on a squeeze. All right, Michael, tell us a bit about this treasure.
Yeah, so this one here is the first ever commercially released home video game console. It's called the Magnavox Odyssey, released by the company Magnavox, but made here by this man up the top, known as the father of video games. His name's Ralph Baer. So he was the guy who designed and created this console. Very simplistic in today's standards. I mean, you can have a look here at what sort of thing. So it's got cartridges. They don't look a lot like what we remember as cartridges, but those were cartridges in a way, I guess. Those had the games on them and you placed them in. However, you can see there's a little piece of plastic there on that back wall. That actually needed to be put, you had to have different versions of that and you put it in front of your TV screen. Actually made the graphics of the games because the games could actually only sort of graphically compute dots and things. So you actually
Right.
need that to actually play the game.
The chart.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a little
way.
piece of plastic you'd sit in front of your TV screen. I mean, it was the beginning, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't that fantastic in terms of commercial success, but it was the first.
So Michael, this is quite a recognisable console. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, this is the Nintendo Entertainment System. Goes by another name from Japan, which is the Famicom or Family Computer. So this was, I guess, Nintendo's first popular console. This really, I guess, defined what Nintendo would become, and was really the start of, the phenomenon that was Nintendo, and I mean, it still is today, right? So there's a few things about this console that's interesting. Firstly, the controller. So the controller was actually the first controller to sort of have this sort of design. So if you look through our museum, you'll see that a lot of the other controllers that were being used at the time they had knobs or they had buttons, like lots of almost like a phone, things like that. They didn't really have any of this idea of the D-pad hadn't really been invented as a tool for video games. So it was used, they had a similar sort of use obviously on joysticks and arcade machines, but no one had sort of taken that and put it onto home consoles until Nintendo came around. They decided that the perfect sort of way to play video games was a simple D-pad and 2 buttons, and it redefined the industry. And from then on, every console had the D-pad and 2 buttons, and then it grew from there. The other interesting thing about the Nintendo Entertainment System, it's sort of recognized as being important because it helped revive the industry. So after the video game crash that happened in 1982-83, they actually, Nintendo was the first big console that regained people's popularity and in love of home consoles. So a lot of people actually thought home consoles were dying out and wouldn't continue. And then it was pretty much purely thanks to Super Mario Brothers. So that became a worldwide phenomenon that just took, everyone just was like, I need to play this game. And so this console, the Nintendo Entertainment System, just sold millions and millions. And yeah, that's what really reignited and restarted the video game industry. This is probably one of the most important video game consoles ever made.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for letting us come in and have a look around and learn a bit about the history of video games and seeing some of these old school consoles.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for coming in. Hope you had a great time.
Absolutely. Cheers. Cool, guys. So as you can see, the setup is wicked there. It's huge, huge collection. Dads, take kids down there, see if you're as good as you remember. I wasn't. I mean, I did win one race, but I kind of distracted him talking. Information will be on their website below. Bookings aren't essential, but are recommended because they will get busy over the holidays. So now we'll head to some news around the city at the moment. There's the Great Ridolphi showing from the 28th of June to the 1st of July, which is an award-winning one-man piece showing at the Subiaco Arts Centre. It was here at the Blue Room in February. If you missed it then, maybe worth having a look now. Also on this month, guys, the 29th and 30th of June, we have a film named Checkpoint showing at the Hale School Auditorium. And this film is about a boy and his family's fight to survive in a future dystopian Australian landscape. Finally, if you've ever dreamed of a modelling career but don't necessarily have the look, the 2017 Curve and Brawn model search is on. You've got the chance there to land a contract with the UK and or Australian agency. No experience necessary. Applications do close on July 9th, so head to Star now for a squeeze. We'll have the link below. Look, you don't know if you don't give it a crack, so have a look. So that's it from us, guys. Obviously, check back next week for our Supernova special. There's been several cosplay interviews over the last couple of weeks, so make sure you've seen those as well. They are super fun. Look, I'll see you next week. That's it. Hey guys, welcome to episode 7. I'm going to take you for a trip down memory lane today. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Let's go.